start again. It's a rich thing.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking a lot about free agency, whether or not the Chicago Bulls team has improved from free agency or not, the trades and all of that that's going to be coming as well. We're looking forward to seeing what kind of moves the Chicago Bulls can continue to do even after free agency is done. But today, I'm going to take a turn away from free agency. Maybe it's only for one day only, we'll wait and see, to focus on the Summer League, because many people might not be aware that the Summer League is actually very, very close for the Chicago Bulls. There have been a couple of other teams that have already played in the Summer League. If you guys have checked, Chet recently against the Utah Jazz had an incredible game against their Summer League team. And again, it's getting me excited about our rookies and our young players and seeing whether or not they can really step up to the plate and deliver for this Chicago Bulls team. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not they're going to have a good Summer League campaign. And what do you expect out of some of these players? I think that's probably the biggest takeaway. For me, it's not necessarily about the wins and the losses of the Summer League. It's all about how these players actually perform in the Summer League. How do these players actually go in the Summer League? And now I expect them to come in and want to win every single game. That's what I expect from any really competitive team, to go out and try to win all of those games that they're competing in. But I guess for the fans, most people won't really watch the Summer League, but even if they do, most people are not going to be concerned about how the score is going to look based on their win or loss. It's based on how well some of these players will actually play. So, also, I do want to mention this as well before we get into the Summer League. I know I'm kind of staggering on a little bit, but if you guys are not really big fans of the NBA 2K scene, I did want to come out and say congratulations to Chicago Bulls fans out there, ladies and gentlemen, as Michael Jordan is the cover athlete, the Legends cover athlete for this year's NBA 2K game that's coming out in a couple of months. I'm not sure when it is. If you guys are big 2K fans, if some of you play 2K, that's obviously going to be big for a lot of people, including myself. But obviously, for those people that don't really care about it, I'm not going to mention it too much about from here on in. I just wanted to say congratulations to Bulls fans. We've got some recognition based in the 2K scene, and hopefully it's going to be a great game. But we'll wait and see. Moving into the Summer League now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to talk about the players that are actually going to be contracted on the Chicago Bulls. Obviously, we do have other players that I'm intrigued in that could potentially make some moves in terms of this Summer League as well. But for the main purpose of this video, I want to talk about what I truly feel is going to need to happen from the Chicago Bulls Summer League team for our best, I guess, for our contract players to get the best out of this Summer League experience. So, I want to talk about Dalen Terry first and foremost. Obviously, our 18th overall pick. Many people were very opinionated and definitely diverse on whether or not he was the right pick to make or not. I think people have slowly come around in terms of Dalen Terry. I think he's done a great job in speaking out to the media about how highly he wanted to be a Bulls player. And I do feel like a lot of people have turned their heads and actually are very intrigued at what he has to say. And obviously, the fact that he's a trash talker as well, someone that is very competitive, has a good spirit about him, and is going to get into people's heads. I think a lot of people do like some of those traits in relation to Dalen Terry. We've also heard a couple of rumors and stories about Dalen Terry talking trash to Patrick Williams, who's obviously a Chicago Bulls player. And yeah, that's very interesting as well. It looks like he's coming in to make an impact in the Summer League, and he wants to make a good first impression. So that is very, very important, because the Summer League is our first impression of Dalen Terry. Is it the most important impression? For many people, the first impression is the most important, but it's not going to be the important. I think the best first impression is at the NBA level. That's where we're going to see Dalen Terry really get the love or the hate from the crowd or from the fans. But for a lot of people, we're going to see our first experience with Dalen Terry in the Summer League. So obviously we want him to show out. We want him to have a grand old time. We want him to really take the reins. I see him being the main guard on this team. I know he's going to mainly play as a wing player on the Chicago Bulls main team. But in the Summer League, I think he has to have the ball in his hands. I think he needs to be the one dictating how the play goes, dictating how the team goes. Io's not playing on this team. Patrick Williams is not playing on this Summer League team either. So Dalen Terry has to run the show. He has to be the leader. He has to be the point point guard, in my opinion, and he has to dictate how this team goes. Tempo-wise, performance-wise, everything of that nature. Even on the defensive end, I would say Dalen Terry has to be the dictator on this team. In my opinion, Dalen Terry has to be the leader. And I think for a young guy, I think he's going to love being in that situation where he's going to be the one that's going to be the most talkative. He's going to have that communication process down and ready to go and all of that. I think that's going to be something that suits him fairly well. And I'm expecting a fairly decent summer league out of Dalen Terry. Ultimately, one summer league won't make or break my opinion on him. At the end of the day, I don't think Io had a great summer league either last year, to be honest, and look at the player that he ended up turning out to be on the Chicago Bulls main team. Playing around better players will make you better. So Dalen Terry, I'm not expecting the world out of him in the summer league. I'm expecting him to be a vocal leader, and I'm expecting him to dictate how this Bulls team plays. I'm not expecting the world from him. So very, very interesting there. Talking about Justin Lewis now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope he could be a very good scorer, because between Dalen Terry and what Justin Lewis was, if you're looking at season averages for their college level, Justin Lewis almost had double the amount of points as Dalen Terry did. So I'm hoping Justin Lewis will come in, be a very good scorer as that wing player, be very versatile. Hopefully he can have an impact on defense as well. But I'm hoping his three-point shot will be very good as well. I'm just hoping he can be, I guess, a threat in terms of the offensive end. I think that's the key for Justin Lewis. Again, he's an undrafted player at the end of the day. He's our two-way contract player. I'm not expecting the world from him either. But I'm hoping he can still make an impact in that way. I'm hoping he can still make those corner threes. He can still shoot fairly decently from the mid-range. And I think he's very athletic enough to actually go to the hole as well. I'm hoping all those things can come out of Justin Lewis. We'll have to wait and see. I'm expecting a relatively inconsistent performance as well. I'm just making predictions here, in all honesty. I expect some sort of inconsistency in his game. And we'll wait and see how inconsistent it will be, if it's inconsistent at all. But that's definitely something to keep your eyes on as well. I think coming in and saying, I expect these guys to be the absolute best players they could possibly be. I want them to dominate the Summer League. I want them to take over the NBA. Look, you got to be realistic in some of these approaches as well. I don't expect an undrafted player to come out, score 23 points per game in the Summer League, win every single Summer League game convincingly, and these guys just prove that they're better than every single first-round talent out there. I expect them to play their role, especially Justin Lewis here. I expect him to hopefully be an efficient shooter, but I also see a lot of inconsistencies that will potentially come from game to game. I expect him to have a couple of good games, and I expect there to be a bad game in there as well. We'll have to wait and see. But the player that I want the most to have the biggest Summer League is Marko Siminovic. He ended up last season, in my opinion, having one of the worst Summer League performances of that team. He played a couple of he had good stats, but the guy could not get on the court, and no one really knew why. Now, looking at what happened in hindsight, maybe it was the weight issues and how he was still very skinny. He wasn't really able to dominate. Maybe he just wasn't really in the right mindset, moving from a different country to America and trying to play in the Summer League straight away from all of that. All of that should be sorted now. The guy's put on a massive amount of weight in terms of muscle. He should be much stronger. And he had a very, very good G League experience. And I think he's obviously more adept in the American style and living in America now. All those things shouldn't be really problems now. And judging what I saw from the G League, I'm expecting Marko Siminovic to have a fantastic Summer League experience. I'm hoping coming out of this Summer League, Marko Siminovic is our best player. We can afford Dalen Terry to have a bad Summer League if it happens. I don't think it will happen, but if it does, he's a rookie. I don't expect the world out of him straight away. You've got to be very patient with rookies, especially those young ones. Justin Lewis is the same. But Marko, in my opinion, should be our best player. I'm not expecting him to be a leader. I'm expecting him to come in, do great on the rebounding side of things. I'm expecting him to really be a dominant paint presence on the offensive end. And that's what I hope we'll see out of Marko Siminovic. And if we get those three things, I think we're in for a fairly decent Summer League experience. We'll have to wait and see. Ultimately, there are more players on this team that I'm interested in. Obviously, that AK guy, that 6'11" power forward. If he ends up having a terrific Summer League, I'd really hope the Bulls consider him as a two-way contract spot. I'd really like to see what he could do with the Chicago Bulls team. At the end of the day, we still don't really have that backup power forward. We're hoping Marko could potentially be that type of player, but ultimately we don't really know. So I'm really intrigued in that as well. I'm hoping for good defense because our defense was very, very poor last year on the main team when all of our guys were injured. If we have more defensive presences in this team from the Summer League, could definitely take notice from the main team as well. I'm not giving a prediction on how many games I think we're going to win or if we're going to end up performing well or not well. Those things are out of my control. And ultimately, I don't really think the wins and losses truly matter in the Summer League. But I'm hoping that we see good things out of these players. I'm hoping Dale Terry can be the leader that we want him to be in the Summer League. I'm hoping that Justin Lewis can play his role well, because if he can do that, then I could definitely see him playing a couple of NBA games. And I'm really hoping Marco is going to be our best player in the Summer League. That's what I hope will happen. I'm going to predict that happens as well, because I want to stay positive. And our first Summer League game is coming very, very soon. So, fingers crossed that we see these things from the very beginning to the very end of our Summer League experience. If we end up winning all of our games and we go on to compete with the future teams for that Summer League championship, again, I think that will go to really tell how impressive our players will be heading into the regular season as well. So wins do matter, but I don't think it's the most important thing. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys don't mind. I took a trip away from the free agency period. Look, it's been a very, very hectic, to be honest. It's hard to get your head around what the Bulls have done, whether it was good or bad. I think many people are so mixed on that situation as well, including myself. I don't really know where to go from there from free agency. The trade period as well, who we're going to trade, we'll have to wait and see on all of that as well. All that being said, have a wonderful and safe day. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.